Hello and welcome to today's podcast. My name is Zehra Naqvi and I'm the Senior Research Associate at South Asia Research Institute for Minorities and Minority and Women Rights Advocate. We committed to advance justice, equality, and inclusion by amplifying the voices and lived experiences of historical marginalized communities across South Asia. Today's discussion focuses on empowering minorities and advancing human rights through civil society programs in Pakistan, a critical conversation in the current human rights landscape. So we are very honored to have Mr. Dileep Sukhani, member Hyderabad District Human Rights Committee, Human Rights Department, Government of Sindh, and member District Peace Committee, Hyderabad. Mr. Sukhani has been actively engaged in grassroots activism and human rights protection, peace building, and minority advocacy at district level. So thank you so much, sir, for joining us today. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you, Zehra. First of all, I would like to thank SARIM for giving me this opportunity. I must genuinely appreciate SARIM for doing hallmark work for minorities and marginalized communities, particularly in Pakistan. Platform, in my opinion, platform like this truly matter because they create space for the voices that are oftenly unheard. So once again, thank you, Zehra. Thank you, Zehra and Saram.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sukhani. So, to begin with, could you please share your journey? What motivated you to work for human rights and particularly for minorities and oppressed communities in Pakistan?
Yes, sure. Zehra, before coming over the question, I must say I often say that my journey didn't start in an office or a conference room. It really started with the everyday life, na? And I believe on a simple theory that when you don't experience something, you can never understand it, truly understand it. Simply believe on this simple theory. So being a person from the minority community, I grew up in a middle class family from the Tharparkar, a most marginalized area of Sindh and Pakistan. By noticing the things, because I personally belongs to the Dalit community and scheduled caste community. So community like us, usually I notice the things like exclusion, like caste-based discrimination, like limited opportunities, and sometimes the feelings of being present but not fully included. So these all circumstances and experiences when stay with you, and over the time they shape you, that how you are going to see the world and how you choose to respond to it. So my overall journey basically started with these kind of things, by observing people, by observing surroundings and environments that enabled me to speak up. I must say, for a long time I stay quiet. I just observe the things surrounded by me. But gradually, I understand that silence doesn't protect us. Many people are often want to do some kind of work, but a fear. In most of the communities like us, fear is the common thing. People want to speak, but fear are usually not allowing them to speak up. So for the passage of time, I understand that silence doesn't protect you in any kind. So this is the turning point. I started my work as a human rights activist, and I choose that I must select the field that may protect me, as well as connect me to the minorities and marginalized communities, particularly from scheduled caste and Dalit communities. So I choose my career with the NGO sector. After my graduation, NGO sector usually called as a development sector in Pakistan and globally. By selecting NGO sector, I have some kind of motive to choose NGO sector. The one strong motive and inspiration is civil society has the grassroots connection. Particularly, they are working with the direct those pupils whose voice is often unheard. So I choose my career with NGO sector, and that experience brought me direct to the grassroots level. allowing me to meet people from all the part of life, especially marginalized communities and minority communities, and whose voices were rarely heard in the mainstream discourse. So these interaction basically shaped my understanding to work as a human rights activist and provide me an opportunity to direct connect with those marginalized communities, understand them. That realization become a turning point for me and motivation, and also create more. I learned that when people are properly informed, properly organized, and don't just manage to survive, they gain the confidence to speak. That's why today I am here, because I got opportunity, I got confidence, and I got organized with tough networks that boosted my confidence to speak up for the voices of the marginalized, particularly minority community. No? This is what drew me towards advocating for the minority community and work as a human rights activist. The desire to turn my personal experience into something meaningful and constructive. Over the years, working closely, particularly I must say, with youth, women, and marginalized community across the Pakistan. Working with NGO sector, I had opportunity to visit all part of Pakistan and closely linked with the marginalized communities. No? So I have seen courage in very difficult circumstances, and hope even when resources are limited. No? One thing I must say, that empowerment through, with the passage of time, I understand that, and I must say that empowerment through education, skills, and resources not only restores the dignity and beliefs for the marginalized and minority community for shaping the better future. So for me, this work has never been about the charity. For me, this work never ever I consider this work as a charity work. It's about, I always say, and on many forums, that it's about justice, inclusion, and equal opportunities. No? So lastly, I must say my journey has been guided by a simple principle. I have some kind of principles that every citizen, regardless of religion or background, deserve dignity, opportunity, and security, particularly in Pakistan. And that's what the Constitution of Pakistan is saying. It's clearly written in the Constitution of Pakistan that everyone has equal rights to live. So my work is driven by both. I must conclude this question with this note, that by both for my people and loyalty for my country, believing that empowering minorities strengthens the nation as a whole. So being a part of this journey, bridging institution, amplifying real meaning to my work. So yes, Zora.
Yeah, that is very impressive. Thank you so much for sharing your journey. Your personal experiences clearly highlight how committed you are to the grassroots activism. Thank you so much. Moving ahead, in your capacity as a member of Hyderabad District Human Rights Committee and the District Peace Committee, what do you see the most pressing human rights challenges faced by minority and marginalized communities today?
A very nice question, and that I must say, when we speak about the human rights,
Yeah.
I want to us to remember one thing. We are not talking about the policies. We are not talking about the reports, and we are not talking about the meetings. It is all about, we are talking about the people, the real people, and the real lives. Na? So these are things we have to understand, that while talking about the human right and minority, we must first recognize that we are talking about the real peoples. So connecting to you this principle to the question, in my capacity as a member of Hyderabad District Human Rights Committee and District Peace Committee, I don't see these issues from distance. I see them very closely. I hear the voices that often go unheard. I meet families who are not asking for the favor, for a special treatment. They are just asking for the simple thing, which is dignity and protection. So, if I had to highlight the most pressing challenges today, the first and most urgent is the silent discrimination and exclusion, which minority communities face usually in life. This discrimination is not always visible, but it is deeply rooted. I must say it is deeply rooted. So this is not one day's thing. This came across the time, and currently it is deeply rooted. Like you say, caste-based discrimination is the most of the pressing issue with currently minority community face, and they are facing them in daily life. Like it appears in schools, children are called by you are from the minority community, so saying that minority community itself is making them vulnerable, realizing them that you are from the minority community. So you can feel these feelings are not pleasant, that to someone you are saying that you are from minority. So think about that, what people perceive in that situation, even at workplaces, even in public services, where people are treated differently because of their identity and caste. So these things are deeply rooted and requires time, because this is not can be changed in one day. It requires a massive time to change this scenario. So first and most thing I observe, being a member of district peace committee and human rights committee, I am really closely working on these issues by raising awareness. And over the time, this quiet exclusion, as I shared earlier in my personal journey, that over the time this quiet exclusion damages the confidence and create a strong sense of invisibility. So this is the first and foremost issue of the minority community I'm observing, being a member of district human rights committee. The second major challenge is a fear and limited access to justice. As I shared, that people want to speak, but they have fear. Many people know, it is not a matter that people don't know about their rights. People know about their rights, but they are afraid to speak out. Fear of backlash, social pressure, and weak protection mechanism keep people silent. Just like me in my earlier career, I also feel this kind of fear personally. But although it is not a matter that law exists, justice often feels distance and increasing for those who need it most. But fear is most common and pressing issue I observe particularly in the oppressed and minority communities. So, and a third pressing issue is economic vulnerability. Minority communities mostly are like I when I'm talking about minority communities, particularly the scheduled caste and Dalits, who are laborer from the ancestors. So they are doing this limited jobs, and they don't think about the other opportunities surrounding them. So economic vulnerability also makes them most vulnerable to the society where they live, particularly among the youth and women from the minority communities. So these limited access to and even livelihood opportunities keeps families trapped in poverty. So poverty, this economic insecurity increases the exposure to exploitation and human rights violation. So this is the third and major pressing issue, that is limited economic opportunity and economic insecurity. Another critical challenge, what I observe being a member of district human rights committee, is exclusion from decision making spaces. Minority and marginalized communities are rarely included in the utmost key position, local governance, policy discussions, or development plannings. When you are going to planning, their inclusion is very much limited. Though currently government is working on this, but again there is a lot to do for this, to include the minority community in decision making process. At the center of all these challenges lies dignity. Human rights are not only about, as I already shared with you that human rights are not only about the laws or the institutions, they are about how a person is treated when they walk into school, when they walk into protection mechanism or a government offices. So I must say dignity should never be conditional. It should be must, and they must have to provide dignity, and with the dignity they will get the confidence to speak up.
Mm.
So lastly, if I say if we truly want to progress, we must listen more carefully, build trust, and ensure that every individual, regardless of religion, caste, gender, or background, feels seen, heard, and respected. Because human rights begin when we choose to treat each other as a human first. So this is my theory for the minority and oppressed communities. So we must treat them as a human first.
Yes, I totally agree with you. Thank you for sharing these insight, and your response shows that the challenges minorities still facing and highlights the need to fair and inclusive policies. So, in link with that, the other question is based on your experience at the district level. What type of human right complaints or issues from minorities or oppressed groups are most commonly reported?
Yes. To respond this question, first we have to understand the scenario because I belongs to Sindh province. Na. So based on my experience at district level, human rights complaints most frequently reported by minority and oppressed community are closely linked to the structural inequality and power imbalance, particularly in rural areas. So let me clear this thing more to understand. A major underlying factor is in particularly I talk about this in is feudalism. Which creates an environment of independency and vulnerability for the marginalized communities. So these feudalism is deeply rooted. Many minority families, particularly from the Hindu and scheduled castes, are working as a agriculture laborers for the landlords from their ancestors. And so, in some cases, this dependency turns into exploitation or bonded labor, like conditions where family remains trapped due to debt, lack of alternatives or social pressures. So this feudal structure also creates an unprotected environment, particularly for youth, women, and the children in rural areas. Complaints related to harassment and abuse are common. Being a member of a district human rights committee, mostly people I see complaining that they are particularly women and children are harassed and abused. And secondly, at district level, we also receive the concern related to force or religious conversations and early child marriages, especially involving the girls from the minority communities. So this is purely linked with the feudalism. With the passage of time, this kind of environment has been created for the vulnerability of these minor girls because they are living under the pressure of those feudalism landlords from their ancestors. So these cases are extremely, I must say, extremely sensitive and complex, and families often hesitate to report them due to fear because they are already under the control of their landlord, and they usually don't want to complain properly register the complaint. Though mechanism are there, but fear which often don't allow them to complain these of kind of issues. So, lack of basically, in addition to these, there are recurring issues related to the denial of the basic rights and the services such as access to education, healthcare, and social protection schemes, which further deepen the exclusion and vulnerability of these minority communities. And so, as an important area of concern, while being a member of District Human Rights Committee, I also oftenly receive text messages, and applications from the minority communities, including Christians and Hindus, that they want protection of worship places So they usually write to us that we have these kind of religious events, and we need protection at our worship places. Na? So I always wonder about these kind of complaints. That why you want to want this kind of protection? Because this is because only because of the fear. Fear contribute this kind of so fear created such kind of environment that they need even protection while on their festivals and religious events. So what is important to note is that many of these issues usually remains hidden. The challenge is not only the violation themselves, but also the environment of fear and silence that prevent reporting. So reporting is a major concern. People usually don't report any kind of, they discuss personally, but with the request that please don't disclose this to anyone. So this confidence should have to be need immediate response. And so another recurring issue involved is the delay in police protection. So usually, if someone courage to register their case, then these kind of protection mechanism has already working under some kind of pressure of those influential persons. So delay in justice is also one of the recurring issue we usually found. Na? So it is important to recognize that government. I must acknowledge that government has some kind of positive steps which currently they are taking, including the establishment of minority facilitation desks. Government realized that we have to certain specific desks for the minority communities to cases, nation mechanism for the protection. The initiative reflects a growing institutional commitment. However, these mechanism needs to translate into real confidence on the ground. Many people are still hesitate to report incidents due to fear, backlash, social pressure, and mistrust. Mistrust is a common issue within the minority communities. So this is why district level human right mechanism, civil society organizations, and community representatives, I must say, can play a crucial role in building those trust to the minority communities, ensuring protection and supporting affected families to access justice in a safe and lawful manners. So I must say, role being a civil society and human activist to build the confidence and reduce.
Yes. Thank you so much for shedding light on these issues. Acknowledging in such a pattern is initial for the accountability, of course. So the next question is about how do district level human right committee and peace mechanism help to raise awareness about rights, building trust, and encourage the minority community to report violation.
Yes, Zara. First of all, I would like to appreciate government of Sindh for taking this concrete and positive steps in this direction. Establishment of district human right committee, minority facilitation desk, and inclusive peace committees across all districts of the Sindh is a, I must say, significant institutional achievement. Because these initiatives demonstrates clear commitment towards the inclusive governance, protection of minority rights and social cohesion. So yes, I must say by providing formal platforms at district level, the government has helped to reduce the fear, to build the confidence, and to improve the access to institutions for the minority community. And these kind of platforms create space for the marginalized communities to engage with these initiative in a more structured and dignified manner. And secondly, I must say from my personal experience, because as you know, I belongs to the Dalit community and came from backward areas, from the middle class family, and I personally experience these kind of issues. Na? And I must say that currently I'm being selected as a member of these committees. It itself a message, is a powerful message, which creates to build the confidence of the minority community, that represent that these platforms are not only for the officials, or for the some kind of influential persons, but also these kind of committees creates space for the people who understand or who face the challenges in the daily life. Na? So secondly, I must say when communities are seeing that someone from their background is sitting in these kind of committees, build the trust and to those communities, and people feel more comfortable sharing their concerns, because they believe their voices will be understood, not judged or ignored. So this sense of trust is the foundation for everything else: awareness, dialogue, or the reporting. And thirdly, I must acknowledge that these committees also play a key role in building bridges between marginalized communities and the institutions. So when complaints are listened to with sensitivity and followed up, so this ultimately creates enabling environments. So peace mechanisms in particularly provide safe spaces for the dialogue, helping the communities to resolve the tension before they escalate into the serious violation. Another important role is encouraging reporting through the reassurance. So these committees assures the fair protection to these minority communities. And so when people see that cases are handled confidentially and responsibly, that ultimately contributes to the growing confidence. So even small action, timely response, respectful communication make a big difference in encouraging others to come forward. So these are powerful committees, and most importantly, these committees, I must say, humanize the systems. They show that human rights are not distant or unreachable. They are local. They are approachable and rooted in the lived experiences. So, lastly, I must conclude by responding this question with this powerful message, which is inclusion always leads to the trust. So when trust is being built, then trust always lead to the dialogue. And dialogue always creates the space where rights can confidently be claimed without fear. So yes.
Thank you so much for explaining it so clearly. Moving to the last question, drawing from your work in human rights protection and peace building, what message or advice would you like to give to the young people from minority and oppressed backgrounds who inspire to work for justice and equality?
Yes, to the young people from minority, my message is very simple message, and simple with the simple theory, which is, I must say, for the youth, that never believe that your background limit your future. Where you come from may shape your struggle, but I must say it does not define your potential. When I personally experienced these kind of things, I came from a marginalized community myself, and I understand what it feels like to grow up with fewer opportunity and many doubts placed in you by the society. So there will be always moments when you feel ignored or underestimated or even discouraged. So, being a youth, you may feel that your voice does not matter. But I want you to remember this one thing, that your lived experience is not your weakness, but it is, I must say, your strength. It gives you a perspective that system desperately needs. No? So, secondly, it is very much clear that educate yourself with purpose. Learn about the constitution, basic rights, basic laws, and your fundamental rights. So it will give you understanding that responsibilities helps make institutions stronger, governance fairer, and society more justice. And thirdly, I must say, choose engagement over anger. Frustration is in natural, but lasting change comes through the patience, dialogue, and persistence. So confidently raise your concerns with respect and clarity, na? Even when issues are difficult. So this will reflect maturity, responsibility, and commitment to the long term stability. Na? And fourthly, I must say, please stay rooted, active, and hopeful. Do not lose your hope. Change often feels slow, especially in the districts where systems move gradually and voices are overlooked. But every case follow up, every injustice address, and every young person empowered is a meaningful contribution to the nation. So, and lastly, I must say, work for the justice with pride, patience, and love for this land. So this is my overall message to the young people. And once again, thank you, Zehra. Thank you, Sarim, for providing me this opportunity on a very insightful session, for organizing very insightful session. So thank you very much. I hope my suggestions and my journey will enable those youths, particularly from minority, to raise their voice with the confidence. So thank you very much once again.
Thank you so much for that inspiring message. Your words offer encouragement and direction to the young people who wish to challenge injustice and become agent of positive change in the society. Mr. Sukhani, thank you once again for sharing your experiences, insights, and commitment to the human rights and peace building. Your work served as important reminder of how civil society engagement at the district level can make a real change. To our listeners, thank you for tuning in. We hope this conversation contributes to greater awareness and dialogue, of course, around minority rights and human right dignity in Pakistan. Thank you so much. This podcast is brought to you by South Asia Research Institute for Minorities. I'm your host, Zehra Naqvi, signing off. Until next time, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Zehra. Thank you, Saram, for providing me this opportunity.